We're here at the 41st annual Cape Cod Lifesaving Competition at the head of the Meadow Beach in Truro. We take you inside the awesome event on this special segment. I cannot believe that this has been going on and been a tradition for 41 years now. That's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
Do you love participating in this event every year?
I love watching our kids work so hard to be here. And the camaraderie that happens out of it is just phenomenal, and it carries on for years. It's whether we win or lose, it really brings the Barnstable team together to work together. So it's a bigger event than people realize and has a bigger impact on our program.
It's so heartwarming, too, to see all of the people who come out and participate, watching what they have to go through, seeing some of these events. It's really challenging. This is no easy competition at all. This is really challenging. What makes the lifeguards want to participate every year?
They love competition. I would say the majority of the people that come for us are all about competition and enjoy putting themselves up against other towns and even each other to get here. And again, I can't say enough. Our staff has been absolutely phenomenal this year. They've worked hard all summer long. And it's kind of, you make the team and it's almost a reward to come down and get to compete with everyone for the day. And they're so pumped up. Our kids are so pumped up, and they're cheering each other on. They're looking out for each other. But what's even more interesting is they cheer for every other team. We have kids that work in other towns now, and they're cheering them on just as much as their own team, which is part of this whole thing. It's getting to know what every other town is like and how the operation works. There are two different levels here. One is ocean surf beach. So most of these people down here, because this year's a surf beach year, they paddle a lot. If you notice, our kids swim. They're outstanding swimmers. National Seashore and Nauset have always traditionally been at the top. Wellfleet does very well, especially down here. When we get up to our area, they're not used to chop. So that's a whole new thing for them when they come up to the south side beaches, Barnstable, Dennis. All those beaches are so choppy in the water, and there's no surf. So it's harder for them to gauge. So they come up and visit. Our kids come down here and visit, so they practice before the competition.
And the event moves to somewhere new each year. It sort of moves locations and travels. This year, Truro, head of the Meadow Beach. The biggest news here this week was there was a beach closure, I believe, this week due to a shark sighting. Did that make the contestants a little more nervous than they normally would be?
Absolutely. On our way up, we're driving, I got the radio going, and of course they mentioned the beach closing, and I shut that radio right down. I said, no more, we're not listening to this. And everybody starts gabbing in the back. None of them have read a paper in the last day or two. So I ended up just saying to them, I said, that was yesterday. It's a whole new day today. The wind's offshore. It's not going to be an issue. Whatever. You do what you have to do to get them all pumped up and not worry about things.
Exactly, but tough to not worry about things. Like you said, it's different conditions out here, very challenging for everyone, and yet everyone's doing a really great job. So impressed with what I see from the lifeguards. How do you keep them in such good shape throughout the season? Do you make them run every day, Patty, or how does that work? They
have to work out 3 days during the week, and then one day they do a drill where I actually monitor what they're doing and check on things. If they don't meet a certain requirement for each skill, then they're required to do just that skill. So if you're a great runner, you love to run, people tend to do what they do best. So if they're a great runner, yet their swimming is a little weak, then they got to swim all the time until it gets changed. And we have competitions within our own beach. We have what they call run, swim, run. So they have to run half of Craigville, swim all of Craigville, and then run another. And it's a competition. And they have to increase, get a lower score every time they compete. So It's kind of a thing. We give a winner. We give an award to the staff that wins, one boy, one girl, and it kind of motivates them. It's a lot of trash talk going on, and there's a lot of trash talk going on out here too. So it's fun.
Yeah, I was just going to say, all in the name of fun. This is so exciting. So glad to see everyone that turned out. Do a lot of parents come to watch their children participate?
Yeah, I would have to say we do very well on the parent side. We have a lot of parents that came down to support their kids and support the team. And yeah, Barnstable's all about community, and we're very lucky that everybody pulls together for the good of the whole.
Anything else you want to add about this amazing event?
No, I think it's a wonderful thing. After we're all done tonight, we're going to go down to P-Town and have a little dinner and experience a little culture. Some of the kids have never been to P-Town, so it just adds a little more team camaraderie to celebrate how they did
This is a
today.
pretty big day for Barnstable Lifeguards. How do you prepare your team as a captain?
Well, we have mandatory drills throughout the year for the town. There's 6 of those that everybody's got to do. Those are mandatory. And then we have comp practices 2 or 3 times a week to hone the skills before and after work. And then it's basically a lot of it is just on people themselves to independently do the workouts, to know what events they're going to be in, and to practice those because it's difficult sometimes to get everyone together at times. So.
How early do you select the team and have them start preparing?
Well, this year was a little late, but usually a couple weeks out. And then we make sure we divide the events up between the people. And it's not necessarily who's the best in an event. A lot of it has to do with who's going to be best suited to compete in that event on a relay team. So you need to save some certain people who might be the fastest swimmer, but you need them for another event just because they're the only one that will be able to do that. So it is a couple weeks out. We do pick the team, and then we really start practicing hard right up until yesterday.
I watched the Ironman and the Ironwoman competitions. I got to say, that just seems so difficult. Is it hard to find someone to do some of these really difficult competitions?
Usually every town has 1 or 2 people that is capable of doing that. Your best, that's what I mean. If you're the best swimmer, you could be on the swim relay team, but that event was right before the Ironman, so you can't do 2 in a row. It's be very difficult on the person doing it. So you try to have the person slot in to where they're going to be best suited. And oftentimes, even though they're the best swimmer, you need them on the Ironman because they're just that good of an athlete to be able to compete in, the running, swimming, and paddling that event has you do.
Now, you're the captain. Do you also compete, or have you competed in the past?
Yeah, I still compete. I do the mile run relay, and I'm on the paddleboard relay team. I've competed on the team since 2002, and then I've been captain of the team since 2005. So it's been a pretty good run.
How many years have you participated in the Cape Cod Lifesaving Competition?
This is my 7th year participating in this competition, so since I was 15 years old.
It's pretty amazing to me because watching some of these events, it just looks so difficult. Some of the events are crazy. How do you prepare, and what makes you really want to take part in it?
Well, they are very difficult, and what makes you want to take part in it is the teamwork. We have a great team at Town of Barnstable, and you just want to do well for the team and get out there and do your best. And we train almost every morning. We're out there on paddle boards or going for runs or going for swims. And on top of that, we have a few mandatory drills every year that we have to attend. And we get scored against everyone else, so that little competitiveness comes in too.
Now, do those scores help whoever is selecting the team make their decision?
Oh yeah, it's always tricky to select the team because we have so many good people at the Town of Barnstable, and we can only take 20, so it's tough to narrow it down to that 20. But definitely the run swim run times, they help narrow it down, and then we have other tryouts even where people race against each other for spots on the team.
Wow. Now, what do you take away from the event every year when you leave? Do you love participating in it?
Oh, I love participating in it. You come away from the event, you're just so stoked, and you get to meet all the other guards and all the other towns, and they're all just as fit, and they're having just as much fun as you, and there's some good races too. So at the end of the day, even if you don't win the race, you still had a great race against some other great guards.
Awesome. Now, are there other lifeguards? Would you encourage them to also participate in the event if they haven't already participated?
Yeah, it's a great event. It's an awesome day, and it's a a fun way to hone your skills, because these are all skills that all lifeguards need. Everyone has to be a good swimmer, runner, and paddler.
Let me ask you this question. Is there a certain rivalry maybe between two towns, or, do you have a rivalry with the town of Barnstable?
Yeah, well, Barnstable, we've, in the 7 years I've been here, we haven't lost our division. So we're the top team in our division, but Falmouth and Dennis, they always show up to challenge us. Yarmouth is there, so we're looking at them. But probably the biggest rivalry is between Nauset and the Seashore, because they're the two top dogs, so they're always going at it. And so if you saw the Ironman finish just today, they were diving for the boards, throwing them to the side. It's the photo finish. They literally went back to the photos to look at it. So that's the roughest rivalry here.
Let's talk a little bit about the divisions. You said Barnstable's division. How are they separated?
So there's two divisions, A and B, and it's the surf beaches and protected beaches. So any of the beaches that are exposed to the Atlantic, Nauset, the Seashore, Wellfleet, and Truro. There might be a few others I'm missing, but they have to deal with bigger surf, and so they're in a separate division. And then there's the protected beaches, and they're going to be in Cape Cod Bay or Nantucket Sound, and you're not dealing with this heavy surf, so it's a different kind of lifeguarding, really.
What an awesome day here at the 41st Annual Cape Cod Lifesaving Competition at the head of the Meadow Beach in Truro. For Channel 18, I'm Sarah Mannel.